Welcome back, all you lovely people, to episode 15 of GC Antics. I'm Colin.
I'm Griffin.
And I'm Alex.
Really happy to have Alex on the show with us today. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit about our recent Christmas assembly. Also going to be discussing our upcoming musical show, Guys and Dolls. And Alex is going to fill us in on what it's like being a techie.
Ooh.
So yesterday we had our Christmas assembly at our school.
Yeah, it was a great event. It always is a great event, but this year it was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were more involved this year. Colin, you and I were playing music.
Yeah, with a couple others, with shout-outs to Eric Thomason, our drummer, Mitchell Missick, our bass player, and Riley Cowan, our guitarist.
And Mitch has been a guest on the show. Go back and listen to episode 7 if
Yeah.
you want to hear him.
Yeah, you guys are really awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun getting to play, especially Careless Whisper. That was just
Yeah.
that was the
That's the
best.
best one.
That was the best part of the show. Just it was great.
Well, we were just kind of pulled in at the beginning of this week.
Yeah. Tuesday we just rehearsed and then we
Here,
just
learn
kind of
some
went in.
music.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah, no, that pretty much sums it up. But you being up in the sound booth when Taylor Swift came on.
Yeah, we had Taylor
Pretty
Swift.
crazy, hey?
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Taylor Swift and how she made an appearance?
Well, we were told up in the tech booth that we were going to have a guest appearance of Taylor Swift, so we had to make sure we had all the lights ready to be brought down, the music started, and we brought the lights back up, and there she was, just dancing on in poppy wear. A nice blonde wig.
And a black beard.
And a black beard, yes, exactly.
So much to the astonishment of everyone in the crowd, it was not actually Taylor Swift.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But Mr. Donkers, our law teacher, and what else does he teach?
I think he teaches socials.
Yeah, and
Like
maybe
11.
junior math. Anyways, he was in a blonde wig and poppy wear, like Alex was saying.
And dancing around to shake it off.
It was
Yeah.
actually, the shirt he was wearing are the boys' basketball warm-up shirts.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
Shirts, those are nice.
And it was him and Mr. Barry.
He should have put on the cheerleading outfits. That's what he should
Yeah,
have.
yeah, I was kind of surprised,
Yeah, well, that would have been interesting.
but not upset because that would have been scarring.
A little bit.
just a lot. But yeah, so we did a bit of a, well, he did a bit of a rendition to Shake It Off with all the other teachers. They got up there and was dancing.
It
Yeah.
was fun.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if what Mr. Knobs was doing was considered dancing. Was he even there?
I don't know. I didn't see him.
I saw Mr. K dancing. That was
Yeah,
nice.
Mr. K was
Jumping.
like,
Yeah.
He was jumping up and down like a fish. It
yeah,
was
what do
like,
you even call that dance move?
It was like the bacon but upright. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was impressive. I don't know how he did
How he
that.
jumped that high? He's got a.
Yeah, he jumped high and like, I don't know how he did that, but yeah,
Yeah, those of you in our English AP class, you know what the bacon is.
yeah.
Oh my god.
And for those of you who don't, it's definitely worth coming to Canada to check out
Yeah,
if you're
really.
listening from
Yes.
out here.
I don't know if he'd do it for you though.
Also had a, yeah, he probably wouldn't do
Pretty
it for you.
private with that. Yes.
Also had a nice rendition of a couple Christmas songs from our junior choir, Red Hot
Yeah.
Voices. They did
Sing
they
along.
did very well.
Sing along with the crowd.
Yeah, they started off with Alvin and the Chipmunks' Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Later
With
on
like
went
the
to,
original cartoon playing on the
Yeah, that was
screen.
great. Yeah, and the lyrics. And then they did, what was it? Was it Frosty the Snowman next?
I think Frosty the Snowman was next.
Yeah.
Then it was Rudolph.
Yeah, Rudolph. And then they finished with,
Let it go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Best song. Best show.
Yeah, and people were just screaming it out in the audience.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was,
No, I
like,
was.
standing up just, yeah.
And in the booth
Swaying
apparently.
back and forth. Yep, up in the tech booth we were singing it too.
Yeah,
Quite
I'd like to hear that
loudly
recording
and
with
out
Nicole.
of tune.
Yeah, down there, Eric was pretty much just waiting for every chord to come up, and then he's just yelling out the verse.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Those songs are just so easy to like memorize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sing
easy
out.
to sing along with.
Any Disney song is easy to sing. along
Yeah.
with, basically.
But yeah, so that was the high point. And then we did a couple more games like Guess the Teacher, which we do.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've been doing it since we were in grade 8, but the last couple of years we've been doing
I was
it.
expecting it to be pictures, like
Yeah.
pictures
Mhm.
of teachers when they were
So-
little.
so-
Because
was
they did
I,
that
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
I didn't know Mr. Barry used to be the mascot of the BC Lions. That was
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not surprised though now
yeah,
that I know
really.
it.
Now that I know,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, I had no idea, but some of them are really interesting. I like successfully guessed one of them,
Yeah.
and I don't even remember, but
Well, let's explain what Guess the Teacher is.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's-
So basically, Well, why don't you explain it?
So there was, what was it, one person from each grade up at the front,
And one
and
staff
then
member.
one staff member, Mr.
You, our vice principal.
Yeah, our vice principal, and then up on the, what's it called, projector. Think of the word. There was questions about teachers, like their past, and then we had to guess what teacher it was. So
Yeah.
one of them was who used to be the BC Lions mascot, and then everybody had to guess what teacher it would be.
Yeah. And basically all the contestants are just on the table with their pen and papers, and they just write down their, like, who they think it
Teacher's
is.
name,
Yeah,
yeah.
the teacher's name, and then they show it when Mr. Barry counts it down. And yeah, very rarely is everyone correct. Actually, very rarely is anyone correct.
I think one person got 2.
Yeah. Yeah, Alana
They're
got
hard.
2, I think, and I think
Mr.
Mr.
Yu
Yu
got
got
2.
2, yeah.
Which isn't fair because he's a staff member.
Yeah. But it shows you that even he doesn't know everything about,
Yeah,
like...
really, that's true.
But yeah, like, there was a couple that took me by surprise, like, who recorded an album as soon as they were out of high school or something.
Yeah.
I guess
I thought it was
Penner.
Mr. Penner, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all guessed Mr. Penner, because he's the only open musician that we knew of at the time, but it was Mr. K, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, and yeah, come to think of it, I think last year in Miss Friend's class, I kind of remember her saying something about Mr. K being in a band, but I didn't really think too much of it, so that was interesting. I still think my favorite one, though, was last year, and it was how Mr. Tenor spent the night in a Mexican prison or something.
Yeah.
I've heard that
what was
story.
that?
like, come on.
Mr.
Like,
Tenner's like the like super chill. Doesn't even.
I know, it's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, he's...
And then I think, well, I guessed Mr. Colorado, and I think the majority of the audience did too.
Yeah, I would guess Mr. Colorado.
So it was pretty funny, but one of the best parts about the Christmas assembly that everybody looks forward to each year is the grad skit that we put on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was nonetheless entertaining this year, but it was especially people were especially excited this year because last year there wasn't one at all.
They
Yeah.
fought too much. They couldn't get it together.
Yeah.
They weren't organized.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
apparently everybody wanted to be Miss Cook, and they
Oh.
couldn't figure out
Oh, wow.
what the script was going to be, and then it was just a big problem.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that every year, but the only person that was really sought after was Mr. Pandolfo.
Yeah.
But there was like 4 or 5 people, but we made the right call, I think, with Dalen, so.
Yeah.
Apparently he told Mr. Pandolfo in like grade 10 he was going to beat him for
I think, yeah,
grad skit.
yeah.
That's funny.
So,
I mean, Colin, you and I know that we were going to be Mr. M and Mr. Follett, our band teachers, for a while now.
oh yeah, that was pretty much decided a while
And
back.
that no one else was going to take that spot.
Yeah, yeah, so it worked out well.
I was really impressed you guys got it organized. Like, I was like, no, I don't want to deal with it at all. But
Yeah.
you guys, they all pulled it together. It was
Yeah,
great.
no, it really turned out well, and it was, but yeah, so the grads last year didn't do it because of
Fighting and arguing.
fighting and
basically.
arguing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, everybody really excited to see it this year, and it showed very well.
Yeah, I did.
And for those of you that want to see it, all you got to do is go on YouTube, and probably if you just type in grad skit, it'll come up.
Grad skit Poppy
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
really?
grad skit 2015, you'll see it. But it's really funny, and there was some defining moments in the grad skit, but Calvin's ding against
Towards
Mr. Knobs.
That's Mr.
Do you know he got up and left?
Yeah, I
That?
heard that. I saw that on
Yeah.
Facebook. Oh,
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
funny.
yeah, that's yeah.
I loved...
I wonder what kind of repercussions they're gonna be for that. I hope
Yeah, I feel
Calvin's
like we're gonna get
okay.
in trouble for that.
But it was still
True.
pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, facts can hurt, but
I loved the Mr. Sal part.
yeah, with Jan,
That
it's
was-
so
that was
great.
perfect. I mean, Jan's... where is he from?
Czechoslovakia, I think.
Czechoslovakia. And... no, it's not Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, I think he's Czech. That's what Riley told me.
Would it not be Czech Republic?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Czech Republic, sure. He's Czech. That's
Yeah.
all that matters.
And, anyway, he looks very similar to our
French teacher. French and Italian teacher now.
Yeah.
Mr. Sal, and yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah, and the chances of not only having somebody at the school that looks like a teacher, but having somebody international that just happens to come by this year that looks like our teacher, like
And
we
his
didn't
accent
even...
just kind of worked with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it was his accent was so great.
Yeah.
And he just, nobody even asked him. Like, we were doing the cast listing because Griffin and I helped a bit with, like, deciding who was going to play who. And literally we got to Mr. Sal and, like, some names were thrown around and we're just like, we all decided that, no, Jan's got to be
Yeah.
Like nobody even
Didn't
asked
even ask
Jan.
his permission. Just ran
No,
away.
we literally didn't. We put Jan down, and then somebody messaged him.
Yeah, it was Eric.
Yeah, it was
That's
just,
funny.
it was so great.
Yeah.
And Eric did a great job of portraying Mr. Yu, and Ethan, Mr. Pacheco.
Do you know
They're
what I
so
didn't
great.
understand until after?
Yeah.
Is the fact that they were gluing the locks shut. When we did those grad pranks, we got in trouble for gluing some locks, even though we didn't actually do it, and that's why they were gluing
Yeah.
locks.
Oh,
Because of that, I was
okay.
like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
That's good.
That part was great with Mr. Tenor too.
Oh yeah, in the
'Cause
library.
He used to be the librarian.
I know that was.
And he's out of the library now in a class, and they glued the lock shut to the doors, like you said,
Yeah.
in the library, and he was stuck in there. He was like, "No, I've been in here for 8 years."
Yeah.
They cut a scene though with
Aurora, I noticed.
yeah, and one with Inglis or Blount and
Yeah.
Lowen, Aaron and Steph. I guess there was a scene where they were in Miss Blount's office, sitting on the couch, and Mr. Lowen Aaron turns to Steph and is like, "So, are we best friends?" And Miss Inglis is like, or Miss Blount is like, "Yeah, sure." Awkward, and they cut it out or something. Sorry, I always call her Miss Inglis because that's.
Yeah, no, that's still what I'm used to.
Lingless.
Blingless.
That's exactly.
Well, yeah, but like, and I was watching it on YouTube with my parents last night because they wanted to see it, and the scene with
Aurora.
yeah,
It's in there.
Yeah, as Mrs. Forbes and Mrs. Graham, and that was like one of the funniest scenes. Like it was so perfect.
What was it that she?
Well, what she did is she portrayed both of them, and she had like Mrs. Forbes in front, the cardboard name, and then Mrs. Graham behind, and she portrayed them. And she starts off the skit with like she sees the Twilight book, and she's just like, "Oh, Twilight, yuck," and she's like goes back to doing her paperwork, and then she literally just flings the Forbes sign off of her, goes to Graham, and then she's like, "Oh my God, it's Twilight." And then she's like freaking out, running around the classroom, like running out the hall, and it's just... And yeah, for those of you that don't know, Mrs. Forbes and Graham are I guess junior English teachers mostly.
Yeah.
I think they may teach English 11, but
They share
they're mostly, yeah.
Yeah, they teach in the same classroom.
Yeah, and
what the
and they
joke
share a
was.
classroom, and it used to be more even how much they shared the classroom time, but the past few years it's been more like Mrs. Forbes is there, Mrs. Graham's there like every second week, and then it's just...
I think it's like Miss Graham is like Monday and every other Wednesday or something.
Yes,
Like that. At least
yeah.
when I was in grade 9, that's how.
That's what it was like. That's how I remember it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was pretty funny.
Grad skit was funny. Yeah. I was worried because everybody was hyping it up, and I was like, "Oh God, it's gonna."
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was actually. It wasn't that bad. It was good.
Yeah, well, I was surprised when they decided to just cast one person as two of them, and I'm like, yeah, well, that's pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah, basically.
we can make that work.
Except
So.
they're like completely opposite.
Yeah.
So.
I loved Trevor as Mr. Allen.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
It's
Yeah.
literally a sea star.
Mr. Allen's a biology teacher.
Yeah. Yes.
That's his pet peeve. When
Yeah,
people
and-
call sea stars.
Yeah, it's
starfish.
it's the starfish, and he gets really mad if you call it a starfish. It's gotta be sea star. That and jewelry, like jewelry, and he just he's so like.
You'd think he was an
Nitpicky about
English
all that
teacher or
stuff.
something.
Yeah,
It's hilarious, actually.
it is really funny.
Going to Hawaii with him, so much fun.
Yeah.
Rory Allen.
Uh,
Yeah, what was the Hawaii trip like?
That was fun. It was a lot of fun. Like, I'm really glad that I played basketball that year to go on it. 'Cause I'm not playing this year because I didn't really have time, but
yeah.
it was, yeah, like, you'd think that, I don't know, we'd be, like, really, like, shut down and on schedule, and, like, you can't leave the hotel by yourselves, but, like, we were allowed to go out, like, not by ourselves, in groups, obviously, but, like, around, and the teachers didn't really, like, they controlled us, but we
Yeah.
were allowed to do, like, whatever we wanted, really. Like,
Mhm.
it was a lot of fun, and Hawaii's so nice. I'd go there again, for sure.
Yeah, I want to go. I haven't been yet. but-
Snorkeling was so cool.
Yeah,
That was
I
one
got
of
to
those
snorkel 2 years ago in the Caribbean, and it is really
So
sweet.
neat.
Yeah, yeah.
The farthest I've been from here is Los Angeles.
You can go snorkeling there.
Yeah, in the LA River.
Yeah.
The concrete ditch.
Did you guys end up playing any games when you were up there, or no?
No.
I heard that they got...
Yeah, what happened is they didn't talk, or they talked to the schools, and we were gonna play games, and then when we got there, or before, they got canceled, but then we still went anyways. We just had practices, which was really cool. Like, we practiced on a court right beside a beach.
Yeah, that's pretty
Wow.
cool. I saw
In the
that. I saw the
open.
picture. That's
So
yeah,
neat.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the beaches are beautiful there
Mhm.
and everything. And some people got stung by jellyfishes. And
Yeah, I
A
heard about that
jellyfish.
too.
Yeah, that was scary. I was right beside her when it happened too.
Yeah.
So stressful. She had marks all the way up her leg and stuff like that. It was pretty gross.
Oh.
Yeah. And I stayed extra because I stayed for Christmas with my
Oh,
family
okay.
came over and I stayed extra. But
Oh, and that's why you missed the
yeah.
like the assembly that
yeah.
day. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, weren't you guys back by that time? But
No, I
yeah,
think they all went back on like the. I can't remember what day it was.
were you guys up there for like a week? About?
I think it was 10 days.
Oh, okay.
And then I was there for an extra week.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky.
But that time I was almost done with Hawaii though, because
Yeah.
like it's fun going away, but after a few weeks and you're just like, "Ugh, I just want to go home now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vacations make you appreciate home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
definitely.
do.
Definitely.
Yeah. But the moral of the story is that the Christmas assembly was a success, like every other year.
Hawaii.
It's not all about you, Alex.
Sorry.
No, but the assembly was great, just like every other year, and maybe one of the best that I've seen.
Mhm.
So it was really enjoyable.
Especially with the singing, I think that was.
Yeah, that was.
Brought everybody together.
Yeah, singing "Let It Go" as a school.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just as a senior grade, as a school, because everybody's there. So
And of
it
course
was
everybody does
it was
it.
great.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
Fun.
Hopefully the ball keeps rolling and they do a grad skit again next year.
Yeah, I hope
Yeah,
so.
I think they will. I
Because
think
those are always fun, and like
Yeah.
when you get it together and you actually have a script and stuff. I mean, I wanted to do a Harry Potter script, but
that would have been so cool.
so
Love Harry Potter.
yes, me too.
You should have come to gym that day when we played Quidditch.
You played Quidditch? In
Yeah,
gym?
Taylor.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
was
did.
Taylor's like game. that
That's
she made.
hilarious.
It was so much fun. It was really well done. Yeah, it was great.
Colin, you told me about it, but why don't you explain?
Yeah, so basically, actually, first let's give a shout out to Taylor Andreessen. She I'll start from the beginning. In PE, in senior PE, what we normally do for the year is just minor games.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll play like dodgeball or soccer or games that are made up. But at a certain point, there's the student-led minor games unit,
Mhm.
where students come up with their own games and teach them to the class, and they're the teacher for the day, and the class plays their game, and they're allowed to partake in their game if they want. So Taylor had one of the best games that I ever played in PE, and she brought Quidditch, and what she did is we took lacrosse sticks and used them as brooms, and you had to keep them between your legs and run with them between your legs the entire game. And we had that, and we had basketballs, and we put the basketball hoops down, and if you got it in the hoop, then it was 2 points. But if you got it in any of the hula hoops that she hung from the basketball hoop, and there was 2 of them, you'd get 1 point for throwing it in there. And then the next part of that was she had those rhino balls that we use for the dodgeballs.
Dodgeballs.
She
Bludgers or whatever.
yeah, she used them as bludgers, and if you hit somebody with them, they had to sit down and count out loud to 3.
What did they use as the snitch?
That was one of the coolest parts that Taylor incorporated into the game. She took the like a badminton racket and a birdie, and when it came to like the end of the game, so like a game would go on for like, I don't know, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then at the end of the game she would yell out snitch, and she would take the racket and hit the birdie straight up into the air, and then whoever caught it would get 15 points at the end of the
so
game.
Funny.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Of course Taylor would think of that.
yeah. No, it was really well done.
Yeah, the one time I kind of wish I was still in PE.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
me
a lot of
too.
fun. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I mean, 15 points, that's quite a bit, because I mean, you're getting, the most you can get before is 2 by getting it in the hoop, right? So I
You
mean,
basically win for sure.
yeah,
Just like
pretty much,
in
yeah,
Harry
because
Potter,
everybody was
150
pretty,
points.
yeah, everybody was pretty even,
Yeah.
like throughout the game, so.
There's like professional Quidditch.
Yeah, I've seen that
tournaments.
at like
Yeah, I've
universities and stuff. They have like actual teams.
It's not real flying brooms, but
Unfortunately. Damn it.
That'd be so
Gotta
awesome.
go to Hogwarts for that.
someday there will be.
Yeah.
We're past 11, we can't do it. I think 17 is the last year anyways.
Oh yeah, that's right.
17.
We really missed out.
So upsetting.
But one of the things that we're even more anxious for than Quidditch is our upcoming musical theater show, Guys and Dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, Alex, why don't you fill us in a bit on the story of Guys and Dolls?
Okay, so basically what it is there's what's this game called? It's called
Crap.
It's like crap game.
Yeah,
And
craps.
so I don't know how to explain the game, so I won't. But there's this
dice
one
game.
guy. Yeah, it's a dice
Gambling.
game and money
yeah.
and gambling on it. So it's in New York in like the 50s. And there's this one guy, Nathan, Detroit, who runs a crap game throughout New York, illegally, of course.
Yes.
And his girlfriend of 14 years, Adelaide, who dances at the Hotbox Club.
Yeah.
She's one of the dancers there. And then there's Sky Masterson, who's a big gambler, who comes in. And then there's Sarah, who is a mission doll, we call her, or she's like she goes to church and she's very proper.
Yes,
She runs
yeah.
a Save a Soul mission and
Yeah,
stuff
exactly.
like that.
A missionary.
Yeah, missionary. And those are the 4 main characters.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, Nathan is broke, so he needs to make some money. So he makes a bet with Sky that he can't take Sarah, the missionary, to Havana out for dinner. And so Sky and Nathan make the bet, and then Sky has to go to Sarah and try and convince her to go out to dinner with him, which she's not too happy about.
Yeah, which is already tough enough because he himself is a sinner.
Yeah,
So,
she
I
doesn't
mean-
like sinners. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes to the mission and basically like tells her that he's a sinner and he needs help and tries to be all nice to her, and then he realizes that her mission is like going out of business because they're not having enough people come to it.
Mhm.
So he says to her, okay, well, if you go out for dinner with me, I'll make sure you get 12 sinners
Yeah.
from like the people that go to the crap game and stuff like that, and he'd find 12 and bring them to her. So she ends up saying, okay, I'll do it. And then in the meantime, Adelaide and Nathan, who've been engaged, or not engaged even, just girlfriend, boyfriend for 14 years.
Yeah.
Adelaide really wants to get married, but Nathan can't get married because he's still running this game.
And he has no money.
And he has no money. So she's trying to convince him to get married, and she keeps talking to him about it, and he's like, oh, no, and she doesn't know that he's still running the crap game.
Yeah.
And so she is trying to ask him why they won't get married, and he's making all these excuses, and then she finds out that he's actually running the crap game. So anyways, Sky and Sarah go to Havana in Cuba out for dinner, and then they end up falling in love, actually, in the end, which is weird because Sky and Sarah are completely opposites.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, they get in a fight, of course, because they come back from Havana and the crap game is going on in Sarah's mission.
Yeah.
Just Nathan found a place for the crap game.
Yeah, because he was desperate. And
he was looking for a place and he
Yeah.
needed money and all that stuff. And then she comes back and Sarah and Sky get into a fight. And then Adelaide and Nathan get into a fight because Adelaide finds out that he's still running the crap game.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, like, she wants to leave him and blah, blah, blah. And they end up, in the end, I don't want to say too much because you guys gotta come watch it. But in the end, basically, everybody gets married. So Sky and Sarah get married, and Nathan and Adelaide get married in the end. But there's a lot of good, like, music, and the story behind it is actually really interesting. Like, when I first heard we were doing Guys and Dolls, I was not as excited because last year we did Legally Blonde and we done Beauty and the Beast, and those were such, like, strong plays.
Yeah, Legally Blonde had so much energy.
Yeah, Legally Blonde was fun.
It felt like a rock concert, like, the entire way through.
There's so many different types of, like, music, for example, in Legally Blonde.
Yeah. There's a lot of different types. But anyways, and then, so now going to the rehearsals and stuff, it's actually a lot, like, more exciting than I thought, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, like, at the end of last year, and thank you for describing it, that was really well done.
If that's, if that makes any sense.
No, that was great. All I remember is last year, Mr. Adlet's like, oh, I'm pretty sure we're doing my favorite musical. Like, we're doing my favorite musical, and we're like, oh, what's your favorite musical? And he's like, oh, we're doing my favorite musical. And he's like, he's not telling us because it wasn't announced at that time. And then it's Guys and Dolls, and I'm like...
I got to find out, like, a little bit before, but I wasn't going to say anything to
I'm like, well, okay. I see how it is. But no, like, I knew nothing about Guys and Dolls whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea, and I'm like, Guys and Dolls. I'm like, okay. Is this like West Side Story? Is this like...
That was
like,
my
what,
feeling as well.
like what are we doing?
It was between West Side Story and Guys and Dolls. It was one of those two.
West Side Story is very heavy on the dance stuff.
Yeah, and West Side Story gets really dark. Like, I went and saw it at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre, and it actually, like, some of the parts in it...
It is pretty dark,
I don't think a high school can pull that together.
Yeah, it is really dark. But Guys and Dolls was really, like, the movie at least, was really interesting too, because the cast that was in it.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, so Frank Sinatra plays Nathan Detroit, who Alex was describing as the down on his luck.
Gambler.
Yeah.
Kind of running a floating crap game.
Yeah. And then, believe it or not, and it is a musical, and believe it or not, Marlon Brando plays Sky Masterson, who is the biggest player, so to speak. And by player, I mean, like crap player.
And he makes wild bets on rent, like crazy things.
Yeah, and
he
always
wins.
wins.
A lot.
Yeah. And he, and Marlon Brando actually sings in the show, and he can actually sing, which is surprising because the only movie I saw him in before was The Godfather, and I'm like, well, this guy can't sing. Like, what's going on here?
It's always interesting when people are in musicals, like what was it? Les Mis, Anne Hathaway. I wonder, did she actually sing in that?
I don't know.
Yeah, she did.
Because
if you go on YouTube and look at her, she's done recordings, and she can sing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
People
so
like that, you just don't even realize they can sing, and then they're
yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's like, wow. Okay.
That's the same with Antonio Banderas.
Uh-huh.
He actually did the live show, on stage, of Phantom of the Opera, and I mean, I didn't know he could sing. It's just there's a lot of people, but
I wish I was one of those people.
and
I'm not.
then there's
Join
also
choir.
Yeah, I don't even think that would help.
and for some of the older audience members, also Vivian Lane and Gene Simmons, not the guy from Kiss. Let's just get that out of the way right now. Not that Gene Simmons. So yeah, but a really well done movie, and the musical is going to be great.
I'm excited for it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I know Pit Band's excited.
Yeah.
And it's the music's not quite as tough as Beauty and the Beast, personally, but it's
Beauty and the Beast was hard.
Yeah.
Music?
I wasn't in the pit for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast was some of the toughest music I've ever played.
Wow.
But Guys and Dolls is probably the second.
Yeah, there's
Legally Blonde was just fun. It wasn't that
Yeah,
bad. There were parts, but it wasn't.
I know, the first song, Runyon Land. That sort of
Yes.
scene and everything. Must be a hard song.
It
It
is.
changes pace
that's-
so much.
It starts
It's hard.
off.
It's hard for
actually-
everyone.
It starts off really fast, but the beginning's actually pretty easy, and then
Yeah.
it's just kind of
It
crazy.
does it change time a lot? I feel like it sounds like
It does.
Yeah, because there's an amalgamation of all different songs. It's the same with the overture.
Yeah, which is really weird. But it's one of the things that we find, and I don't know, you probably have the same issue in the tech crew, but the thing that we find is sometimes blending with the actors. One of the most common things we have is when we're playing a fast song, and it's kind of hard for the actors to keep up.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, sometimes they're doing a really good job of speaking their lines, and we're rushing or we're going too fast through a spot that could be more laid back.
Especially because you guys can't see them because you're behind the scenes. So
Yeah.
That must be a lot harder.
Yeah, yeah, it
Watch
is.
them.
Well, yeah, because we have Mr. Ablett to conduct us, but even he misses it sometimes. It's hard. You can't nail it
That would
every
be
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You kind of get to the awkward point where the band's listening for the actors' cues and the actors listening for the band.
yeah,
And everybody's waiting for the lights to come up or sound start.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not in it. I'm the stage manager, one of them. I get to sit up on the catwalk in the tech booth and
Yeah.
tell everybody what to do. It's kind of fun.
Do you have quite a lot of junior kids that are part of tech crew that
Yeah,
are
actually,
excited
this year
to be?
we had a lot of grade 8 girls
Yeah.
that came because I
That's cool.
knew them all from my elementary school.
Oh,
My brother's
okay.
in grade 8,
Yeah.
so
That's
I told
cool.
them all to come join
Yeah.
stagecraft and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, me, Taylor, Andreessen, and Nicole Bolton get to hang out up in the booth, and then Aaron's behind the scenes, and Amanda Missick is too.
Yes.
And they're sort of like the stage managers backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda usually takes care of costumes, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and Taylor's lights and Nicole's sound. But even building the set, it's one of the biggest sets that I've ever Legally Blonde was huge when we had to build that, but the set is really, really big.
Is it
Oh,
bigger
really?
than that?
It's just different. Legally Blonde had a lot of levels to the stage. This
Yeah.
one just has a lot of different pieces
Okay.
because there's sort of three main parts. One, there's a New York scene at the back. Then there's the Hotbox side set, and then there's the Mission side set, and they're just really big pieces that are going to fit on the stage. And then I know there's a lot of curtains that go in the front, and there's going to be dances in front of all of it,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a lot on stage. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen any of that yet.
No.
Yeah.
I literally, the joke in pit band and the joke in music throughout Griffin and I's career in poppy music is basically we just show up and play when we're told to.
Mm-hmm.
And with musical theater, that's pretty much what it's like. So, but we did our first run through. Were you there for the run through that we did on Wednesday?
Wednesday, no, I was there for
For,
the
like,
other
Act
one,
One?
but you
Okay.
were there playing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How
Yeah,
did
that was
go?
the first time that we were playing really with the actors. We
Yeah,
did a little.
we
We did
moved
like 2 songs before.
All of the pit band equipment into the drama room.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and for the first.
I had to work, so I couldn't be there, unfortunately.
For the first
I would
time.
like to, though. I'm supposed to be, but
For the first time. Like for the first time working with the actors.
Mhm.
And like in when would that have been? I guess middle December.
Mm-hmm.
For a show in March and we almost got through all of Act 1.
yeah.
I think we did very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering where we've been in years past, because when we did Beauty and the Beast and even Legally Blonde, but Beauty and the Beast the night before, or like we were gonna perform the Monday and the Friday before, we did a run through like our tech, like
Okay,
the
I
1 till
remember
7,
that one.
and it was really
Yeah.
it was something to say
We
the
all went and
least.
cried.
Yeah, it was everybody kind of
I remember
got
actually,
it at some point. It was pretty.
we were talking about this with Miss Blount. Sorry, Miss Blount. Blingless, anyways. And somebody asked her like, "Oh, what was the worst rehearsal you've ever had?" And she said something about Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
That one rehearsal. I
Mhm.
remember that.
And,
I think
like-
it was half tech, half music, and
Yeah, and there was
So
3 of
that's
us. I think it was Ethan, Riley, and I that were in grade 9, right? So this is our second year.
never
And-
done it before.
Yeah, and we saw a side to Mrs. Blount, Mr. Ablett
You've never
that I've
seen
never.
before.
Oh yeah, and I never want to see again. Honestly, it was pretty.
Intense.
It was and I'm not saying this to point fingers at anyone or make anyone sound like a monster because they're just doing their job.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, that was our moment. That was our light bulb moment where it was like we need to step up to the next level if we want to make the show happen.
Mhm.
And then we ended up. The band actually had to come in Saturday, that morning.
I think we had to come in the next
Yeah, I think everybody kind of did, and we ended up doing the show Monday and we nailed it.
Yeah.
Like we really. The
Beauty and the
opening
Beast
night
was
was
fun.
great, so it was but it was surprising. So
Yeah, Miss Inglis, she gets very stressed out. And I
Yeah.
feel so bad because I can't, I get stressed out about it too because
Mhm.
we're both in charge of a lot, so.
yeah,
Mhm.
oh yeah.
Aaron, and yeah, it's.
I think
it's
everybody
stressful.
does to a certain point.
Mhm.
Like I mean, a lot of people think that, like the lead, like the
lead actors.
yeah, and that would get stressed out the most, but that's not always the case.
Honestly, being, I was talking to Mitchell Missick, who's been on here before,
Yeah.
and he's in a directing and script writing
Mm-hmm.
class this semester.
Yeah.
Like grade 9s, I'm in that class too, but I'm not a director.
Okay.
And Miss Inglis was talking to all the directors, and she was saying, it just makes you realize how easy it is to be an actor when you're behind, trying to direct people
Yeah.
and do
Yeah, I
all
couldn't
the tech
even
stuff
yeah.
and everything. It makes you realize how all the actors have to do is learn their lines and then go on stage and perform it, but everybody behind the scenes has a lot to do as well.
Yeah, and I don't
see
think
them.
they get the recognition they deserve. Honestly, I think you guys do have one of the toughest jobs on.
What I'm really excited about is me and Aaron. We joined yearbook this year,
Mm-hmm.
so we made sure that we had all the musical theater pages. So we're
Yeah.
doing them, and
Oh,
we're
yeah.
making sure that we're gonna have a tech page for sure, just
That's
to
awesome.
show everybody in tech.
Nice.
everybody
No, that's
in the
really
band, all
that's
of that.
great because
Just 'cause
you guys deserve
We
it.
never
That's
get
awesome.
in there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the people that get overshadowed too. Like there's I've seen it too in years past because this would be my 4th year of musical theater, and you're 3rd,
My
right?
3rd, yeah.
Yeah, and I see it every year that it's not always the lead actors and all that necessarily surprise you or blow it out of the water. There's just great performances all around, but yeah, I couldn't even imagine what directing would be like.
Yeah, I want to be. Next semester I'm in directing and script writing for a drama class. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just different, a different side to it. Because I've never been an actor, but I've been lighting in grade 9 and sort of grade 10. Then in grade 11 I was the stage manager up in the booth, and then it's really I love it so much. Being up there and able to see the whole thing and just know that you're just a part of a
Yeah.
group that's just putting on the show, and it just makes you feel really good. It's super rewarding. Like the weeks leading up, and actually the months leading up, we all get so stressed out. I know,
Yeah.
especially building and painting and putting it all into the dramnasium and putting our cues in, especially Taylor. Most of our tech stuff is pre-show, and once we're in the show, it's not as much work. Like Taylor, for lighting, all of her cues have to be put into the board before the show.
Oh,
That's why we have the tech rehearsals, because she needs to get all her cues in, and she gets so stressed out during those, and me too, because when actors aren't listening or they're not moving to their positions, we can't light them up, and we're like, hey guys, if we don't get this done, you're not going to have lighting cues for half your show, and that's going to be super stressful, so get in, like, listen. And Nicole, hers, like, a lot of it is pre-show, like all the mic checks and everything like that. She's got to do more during the show, but for Taylor, during the show, it's mostly just watching where her cue lines are and pressing the button that switches all of the lights to the next cue, it's a lot of pre-show work, and building the set too is very stressful, especially, what did we just do? So the hot box, it's like a big wall on like a platform, and I was in charge of building it, and then Mr. Lowen was saying, oh, okay, we're gonna make it, I think we made it 10 feet tall, 9 feet wide.
Oh, wow.
So it's big.
Yeah.
And we have to have 2 doors, one working, one not, and then a window. And so we built this whole wall, and then Mr. Lowen goes to me after class one day, he says, you know what I just realized? There's no way we can fit that into the dramnasium through the doors. So we had to cut it in half. It was so awful. We had to cut it right in half, right in the middle. And I was like, oh, I can't believe we just had to do that. We've totally, like, something out of like a comedy that you make it too big to fit through the doors. Luckily we figured it out before, because that would have been awful, but I honestly, and I've said this before in past episodes, I honestly believe that the musical theater family, whether you're tech crew, pit band, actor, dancer, whatever, I honestly believe that like our so-called crew family, our it is a family, we really are, and I feel that to some point where we hold the school together too, because I think like, and Mrs. Blount and Mr. Ablett always say it too. Yeah, we do. Everybody is involved in it. Yeah, and we're very versatile. And it shows well in the school, and like, what is it that Mr. Ablett's always telling us, that the actors and the kids in band are the best students in the school. Yeah. Which is really awesome. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Like everybody that's part of musical theater, not just actors and band. But yeah, and I'm really glad you told us more about Tech Crew, because most people don't understand, like, a couple years back, like when I was in grade 8, and there was like tech rehearsals or whatever, like I probably would have just thought, like, what do they need a rehearsal for, right? They just need to flick the lights on, like honestly. Even before like assemblies and stuff, Taylor, me and Nicole are always getting pulled up there to like do the assemblies and light it, and they're like, oh, Taylor, you only need like 10 minutes to put the lights. She's like, no, I need like half an hour to at least get these. You need to tell me what you want, what, like, where you want me to light up, what blackouts you need me to do, all this stuff. Like, there's a lot more than just like, oh, give her 10 minutes, she'll figure it out. Yeah, most people, like, and most actors are probably just like, I just need a light. Yeah. I just need the light, and it's like, no, we need more than the light. We need to be able to see your face, and then sometimes, like, especially with mics and stuff, they're not speaking loud enough into them, or the mics are screwed up, and then everybody's like, Nicole, why aren't the mics working? She's like, I'm figuring it out, yelling down. Yeah, that's the other thing too, like, when the sound's messed up, or like, if a microphone's messed up or something, it's always the tech crew that it's always there to blame. It's like, no, it's not our fault. Like the scapegoat, and I'm just like, well, that's not really fair. My favorite is when actors have their mics muted while they're down there. Oh, that's so funny. And then somebody has to go down and tell them, okay, you have to unmute your... Yeah, it's like, my mic's broken, and it's like, no, it's on mute. Muted. Or it's not even on. Something like that. Like that. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, those are good. But yeah, musical theater's been probably my favorite part of high school. Yeah. I think you learn you learn more than just music. I think you learn a lot of life skills. You do, in musical theater. You have to work on your feet, like improvisation, all that sort of stuff. Like, especially like actors, when they forget a line or they miss a cue or something like that, like they have to make it up on the spot, and then we have to take that in and fix something else. You have to learn how to work with other people. Yeah. Yes, you have to learn to work as a group, that's for sure. Which is interesting too, because like I feel that we all get along quite well in the family, but if there's someone that maybe you don't quite know as well, and you're trying to like
blend with them. Like last year when we did like for the first part of the year when we did Ritz Cabaret, and we just had our little horn section when I was playing Mr. Cellophane on clarinet with Levi. Like I don't really know anything. Like I know Levi, but I don't know how Levi acts. I don't know what he likes to do, like what his tendencies are.
Yeah.
But it worked really well.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just, you don't really know how they're going to react to you.
Yeah.
And
You
how
really
you're going to react to
like,
them.
bond with people. It's really
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
And it's interesting because being part of the pit band, I enjoy that because you don't always have to verbally bond with people. Like the music can sometimes bond you with the actor, just without even knowing it. So it's pretty.
Sometimes you don't even get the recognition that we'd all deserve.
Yeah.
It's behind the scenes, but I always feel so special when I get to go up into the tech booth through the door that says authorized tech crew only. It's fun.
That's pretty cool.
And everybody goes, like, when you come through the door and everybody looks up and sees you up in the catwalk. That's right.
And
That's like the best part.
yeah. I'm assuming Mr. Lowen and Mr. Gill and their class are making the set pieces again?
Yeah, well, we have, like, the class after school. It's called,
okay.
like, stagecraft and stuff.
Oh, cool, okay.
It's Thursdays after school.
So you're part of that, too?
Yeah.
That's cool, okay. I did not know that.
Like, I'm there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when I don't have to work, after school for rehearsals. Then on Thursday, there after school till about, either, like, from 5 to 6 is when I get home. Usually.
Yeah.
Tuesday is my only free day to go home right after school.
Yeah, that's pretty much like us.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, and I have, I'm part of the jazz choir Poppy Box, so I'm
Yeah.
there every day.
And then you're there in the morning and...
Yeah, in the mornings every day for both of us.
Yeah.
We always joke, we say, we should just sleep at the school because, especially during show week,
Yeah.
we don't leave.
Well,
I remember...
Yeah, our joke with the music is we never see the light of day.
Yeah, we show up in the morning when it's dark and then leave after pit band when it's dark.
Literally the same.
And like
well, not
you
in the
don't
morning,
you don't see sun all day.
Yeah.
Just like it's kind of depressing, I won't lie.
So I look out the window in art class.
Wondering what could have been.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. One year for Once Upon a Fairy Tale last year.
Oh yeah.
Me, Aaron, Taylor, and Nicole were at the school painting until probably about 9 o'clock at night, and the janitors were telling us, like, you guys gotta leave now, like, we want to go home, so come on.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
Yeah, when you outlast the teachers.
Yeah.
It's pretty...
Well, there's been days in the past around wintertime where, like, I've been at school the whole day, and then I go outside and I see there's snow. I totally forgot there was snow outside.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's musical theater is definitely interesting. It's got a lot of ups and
Always
a few
at the
downs,
school.
but yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of stress, especially around show week, but it's
Yeah.
super rewarding at the end.
Oh,
When
yeah, for
everything
sure.
comes together, it's just, it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Griffin and I were talking about on like one of the previous episodes too. One of the first was that it feels like you're not really doing much, even though you do those 2.5 hour days after school, 3 days a week. Like you're going through stuff, but it doesn't really feel like you're accomplishing much till you get to the show.
Yeah.
And then it's right there. It's
and
in
then
front
it's
of
a blur in the end of the last show. Everybody's like so sad because half of us are leaving, and this year's gonna be very sad.
Yeah.
A lot of people are graduating this year.
Yeah.
All of the tech crew, basically.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We have to train a lot this year because we're like all of the main people are leaving.
Yeah.
Which is really, really sad. Miss Blount says, I should just retire after you guys leave because there's no point.
well, even for us in the pit, I mean,
It's all grade 9s except you and me.
Yeah, it's you and me, and then it's juniors. There's no,
Yeah.
It's cool.
Like,
It is cool. And I think I know that they will do fine.
Yeah.
In the future years, but
especially since they've had the experience now, when they're in the junior grades and stuff.
But yeah, we're losing a lot of band members too this year. Like we're losing a lot of everything.
My brother was laughing. What did he say to me the other day? Because you guys are always in his band.
Yeah,
He's always
we've
like-
been helping teach both grade 8 band
He
classes.
goes, do Colin and Griffin ever leave the band room? Like, they're always in there.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's
I
hilarious.
was like, no, probably not. It's just like me in the drama room. I don't really leave that either.
Yeah. That's funny.
I was thinking Wednesday was a really sort of music day because we had our senior wind ensemble practice in the morning, then 2 classes.
Yeah.
Then I was helping with the grade 8 band, and then we had lunch, and then we were doing setup for more musical theater, music stuff. Then we relaxed a bit, and then had the long musical theater rehearsals. Like, I'm such a music person.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that's sort of like art, like drama, music, art, like all of that. It just kind of
Yeah.
They're all sort of meshed together.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm always in the woodwork room or the drummer room or like the rehearsal room, like that sort of area is like my.
Do you take woodwork?
I don't take woodwork.
Okay,
no.
that's what I thought.
I took woodwork in grade 8.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe grade 9. I think to grade 9, and then didn't do grade 10 because I was at the fine arts school. And,
oh yeah, that's right.
But I still came back and helped with Legally Blonde because.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I missed like a whole week of school that week because I was at Poppy instead of other school. But no, in grade 11, I think in grade 10 they switched it to an actual class. Mm-hmm. So we actually have to go after school. It used to be Wednesdays, but they switched it this year.
So you actually
Thursdays,
get marked?
So that we actually get
cool,
marked.
okay.
They switched it to Thursdays so me and Aaron could be at the rehearsals.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because we read and blocking.
They started giving us marks last year for Pitman, which is weird.
That's cool. Like I have so many credits just because of music and drama, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear people around the school like wondering, do I have enough credits to graduate?
I'm like,
I probably have like 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I probably have twice as many as I need.
I think what was it? Last year, you need 80 to graduate, and at the end of first semester last year, I had 94 or something.
Yeah, we're probably around there. I have no idea where my credits are, but it's got to be
in the
up
hundreds
there.
At least.
Yeah, it's got to be up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, people I don't understand why in high school why you wouldn't do as much as you could.
Yeah.
That always confused me.
I'm in so much this year. It's a lot, but
it's
why
worth
not?
it.
It's your last year.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm trying to do as much as I can while still managing work and baseball and like my outside of school life as well.
Well, it was just this year I joined the choirs.
Yeah, that's really
It wasn't
awesome.
even at the beginning. It's just a couple weeks in. I was finally convinced.
Yeah. What do I have? 2 sports. Well, lacrosse is over now, but soccer is like 3 days a week. Then I have work, which depends on when I get off. And
Where do you work?
ABC Country
cool.
as a host with Jake Mitchell.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Jake.
That's a step above Colin's work.
Yeah.
Where do you work?
McDonald's.
Ooh, nice. I used to work at Dairy Queen, so
oh, really?
I feel your pain. I made the cakes and decorated them,
No, I love working there, actually, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is really great working there. The people I work with are great.
Except when you burn your hand on the grill.
I only do that every day. At least once.
Only on days that end in Y.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, well, because I have 2 sports. One's over now. I didn't even do any school sports this year. I think I might do soccer in the spring. I didn't do basketball. I don't usually do volleyball.
You usually do cross country, yeah.
I was so sad I missed cross country this year. I kind of wish I did it, but anyways, 2 sports, work, musical theater, then like stagecraft, then yearbook,
and then
me and Aaron joined, and then school,
Yeah.
School.
Right, school. Forgot about that.
School usually gets lost in the fold.
Me and Aaron joined yearbook this year, and we were both like, I don't even understand why we never did this before. Like, it's a lot of fun. It's actually really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great to be behind like the scenes, and you get to see it all before it goes out to everybody. You feel so like special because you've got all this power almost. We have these shirts that say on the back it's around the front it says yearbook club or whatever, and then on the back it says don't mess with us or we'll spell your name wrong or something.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. That's really good.
So true though.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what this year's yearbook's gonna look like?
Yep, I actually do. I've seen the cover and and seen all like what we're doing for like the theme and everything like that. But I can't tell you, that's classified.
Yeah.
I'm anxious.
Understandable.
Jonathan knows what it looks like because he made the cover actually.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Jonathan does really good work.
It's really cool this year actually. Yeah. It was really interesting.
Would you say better than last year?
I think so. I liked last year's. They won an award for last year's, actually.
Did they?
It's really cool this year, actually. I was really... took forever to figure out what we were going to do. There was a lot of arguing, but...
Sounds like us trying to make our logo for the podcast.
Yeah. We started with...
It's like 4 hours just to decide what we're going to do. It was ridiculous.
Well, we had to decide on the name first.
Yeah.
We were like...
what's our name going to be? What's our name going to be?
Yeah, because this was in August. We were searching like, hey, what's taken? Can we do this?
Pretty much, yeah.
And you don't even want to see the first logos. It's just atrocious.
I'll have to post that someday on the website. It'll be like a Throwback Thursday thing.
Throwback Thursday.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that for our behind the scenes episode.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the things, like, when they brought that, I don't remember when it was, but when they brought that survey around, and we were in English at the time, and it was like, what was one thing that you regret, like, if you could go back and maybe do, what would you have done?
I think I said not joining musical theater in grade 8.
Yeah. Yeah, and I said, like, if I found a way to manage my time more effectively, I would have loved to have done, like, every school sport I could have.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, swimming, basketball, volleyball.
Yeah, I said join choir as soon as possible.
Yeah.
'Cause I, like, seeing what it's like now, I regret not doing it 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, choir was, like, I think, out of at least the people I know, I think I'm the only one that's been in it since grade 8.
Hmm.
Yeah, because then I got Ryan Marno. And it was funny because I got Ryan Marno in grade 9 and Riley. And for a while there, Ryan wasn't sure. Oh, shout out to Ryan Marno, by the way.
You've
Ryan,
given him shout-outs on the show already.
Yeah, I know.
He's been on the show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But Ryan, like, for a while was like, oh, I don't really know that much about choir. Like, I don't know if I'm really into it. And choir is his favorite thing.
He loves
like,
it now, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, he adores it. Like,
Yeah.
he literally...
I've told him before, I can always pick out his voice
Yeah.
listening to the choir. Of course, now I don't listen to the choir because I'm in the choir. But
Yeah. Yeah, well, he said to me the other day, he's like, thank you so much for getting me into choir.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, well, you should have started in grade 8, because honestly, it was great, but...
I don't remember how I got into musical theater. I just remember being in grade 8 and watching Grease, which was grade 8, right?
Yes.
And Stephanie Grant was like an actress.
Yes,
And
yeah.
she was
Yeah.
saying how fun it was, and then me and Taylor, and I think Drew joined then. And we were just like,
Okay,
oh, that
cool.
sounds cool. And then the next year we were just in it, and I just remember being in it. I don't remember how we figured out that we were going to do it. We just did it.
That's what, like, not for band, but that's how I got into musical theater, too, was literally, I walked in at the end of a day.
Mm-hmm.
I
I remember this, yeah.
Yeah, I've told you the story. I walk in at the end of the day to pick up my band folder in, like, grade 9. It's, like, October. It's the beginning of the year. And pit band's rehearsing. And Riley's just, like, yelling at me. Because Riley was one of the rare kids that was actually... He did Grease, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he played guitar in grade 8,
Yeah,
which is pretty
he did.
cool. And he's like, Colin, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just grabbing my book to go home. And he's like, why would you do that? Why don't you just come sit down and play with us? I'm like... sure. So literally, he's just like, you should come join pit band. And Mr. Ablett's just like nodding his head. He's like, yeah, you should.
Mr. Ablett's always up for more people.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's just how I got into it. It was like,
Yeah.
just coincidence, but I would have got into it eventually anyways, so.
Yeah. Well, that's like me with the choir. Like, I joined SEC. It must have been a Tuesday morning I showed up.
Yeah, I think so.
And then after school that day, I walked in at the beginning of Vox rehearsal and asked Mr. Abbott, is there room for one more? And he said, in here? Yes, of course.
Yeah, because this year was a little thin too, so. Then
I'm
years
the-
past, so.
I'm the only bass
Yeah.
in Vox.
I remember getting into lighting in grade 9 because we had to do workshops with the senior sort of tech crew, and it was Chris Lee. I don't know if you remember him. Chris Lee and Megan McDonald. Ashley McDonald was her sister, and she was sound and he was lighting. And we went up into the booth, and it was Chris and Megan there, and they were showing us around, and it was like me and Taylor and I think Nicole and a couple more girls, and they were saying like they were showing us, and we just thought it was so cool to be up in the catwalk because obviously you'd never been there before, and that was the first thing. And then they were showing us all like the sound stuff and the lighting stuff, and I was like, oh, lighting looks interesting. And then they were saying how we're not supposed to have food up here, but we've ordered pizza sometimes, and we've had a bunch of food, and we just have the best like view of the show, which it actually isn't the best view because there's pipes things in the way, but and then I turned to Taylor, I was like, this would be really fun to do, and she's like, yeah, I want to be up here too. So we both got into lighting, and then we got to just being up in that booth just makes you feel like I don't know how to explain it, but it's great.
Well, the first thing I heard about pit band was in grade 8 when I was getting ready to go to Poppy, and they gave you the list. You probably remember it, and they give you the list of like all the bands, like what it is.
Yeah.
Like band 8, band 9, band 10, SWE, like all the bands. And I remember going through, and it's like Hot House and Vox, it's like audition only. And then getting to like the one at the very end that said pit band, that was invitation only, and I'm like, I want to be part of that.
Yeah.
When I'm like, and I'm just like, because I like challenging myself, right? Especially through music, so I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to be part of that. So. And you remember Chris? Chris played trumpet.
Yeah.
In SWE for quite a bit, and Hot House.
He taught us all we know.
Megan was really good too. I remember, like in
Megan.
grade
Megan
9 or whatever. Yeah.
I remember the first for Beauty and the Beast when I had to do was I was lighting, but I also had to. There was one part in Beauty and the Beast when Gaston shoots a duck,
Oh, yes,
falls
yeah,
from the
yeah.
ceiling. I had to throw the duck from the ceiling. And I thought that was the best part of the whole thing because I got to walk out on the catwalk and be really quiet and then chuck it out in a certain place because LeFou, which was Nicola at the time, had to miss it, so I had to like throw it to the side so he would like miss purposely. That was fun, yeah.
Oh.
I was like, that was my duck. That was my part of the show. I did it.
Yeah.
And everybody always looked up to see if they could see who was throwing it down. But that was me.
You're too stealthy, they couldn't tell.
Yeah, and to be really quiet and everything.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, we put on some good shows in the past few years. I wish I came like when I was in grade 6 or something to like some of the other shows. Because like you see them around the school and they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw they did one Serving It Right or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
like
I
those
think
ones.
I saw that one.
Okay.
And I was in grade like 6 or something, but I obviously wasn't paying attention because I for some reason didn't care, even though now I'm like totally into it.
Mhm.
But and then when I was really young, they did The Wizard of Oz, I think, and I came and watched that. I must have been grade 3 or 4. I was pretty young. I just remember sitting. I remember sitting on the ground, but I'm pretty sure I was sitting in the front row and just looking up at this big stage with all these people. And the only reason it looked so big was because I was so small. But
Yeah.
it was, that was probably my first, like, taste of music.
Yeah.
Musical theater. Of course, I think we left early because we were all tired and whiny because we were little kids.
I still get like that, so...
Yeah, really.
Exactly.
You should see us in the booth during show week.
Yeah, no
We're
kidding.
so mean to each other, and then after we're like, oh, I love you guys. Basically.
It's like
Yeah.
every pit band rehearsal is supposed to go to 5. Can we wrap early? I'm tired. 4:30,
Pretty
4:45.
We
Are you
whine
sure
so
we can't
much.
leave now?
We whine a lot.
Yeah, we whine.
But then when we get to those, I don't know what they're called. I thought they were called tech rehearsals. When it's like till 7.
Run-throughs.
Yeah, run through. Yeah, whatever you want to call
Like
them.
run-throughs, because I know tech rehearsals go way later.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, run throughs. When we go to like 7 or 8, or pretty much just till we're done.
When we play with the actors.
Yeah,
Yes.
just go
Yeah.
through the whole show, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Those are usually just
run the
just
show.
like dress rehearsals, run-throughs, and
Yeah, but you do like 2 of them, and then you do a dress rehearsal, and then it depends. It depends how many like the director thinks you need to.
tech rehearsals are the scariest because, especially for lighting, when we don't get all our cues in, at the end we'll have like a couple more pages to go, and then Taylor's freaking out because she's like, I can't put these in, and we're not ready, and then I'm freaking out because I need to have them too because I have to be able to see them, and it's stressful.
Yeah.
Those are where we get angry at each other, those rehearsals. We
Yeah.
just get very snippy with each other.
Yeah.
Then afterwards we're fine, but yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
We're all stressed. And Miss Inglis gets mad, and we're yelling, and it's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's our last year, so gotta make it count.
Oh.
Go out with a
Don't say
bang.
that.
Oh,
Don't
sad
don't
reminder,
say that.
Colin.
I'm sorry.
No!
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
The truth hurts. I'm just saying. It's going to happen. I'm sorry. I don't want it to happen. I want to... Well, Griffin and I are just going to continuously fail school so we get to stay in band. We don't have to go into the real world.
I'm gonna come back next year and help out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're allowed to cry on the show, just know that everyone's going to hear it.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Alright. I'll try not to.
Just as long as we, yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't even remember the first musical that I saw. I think it was Grease, like the first real...
Yeah, probably for
First
me.
one I watched was Grease.
Yeah.
So remember I walked there with Drew, or I think it might have been Drew. One of my friends. We walked to the school, because I live really close to Poppy, and we, like, watched it, and then we walked back, and we were like, oh my god, that's so cool, like, I love musical theater, and, like, I love Grease,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch it, and blah, blah, blah. It was, we were so obsessed then.
You went to Peterson Road, right?
Yep.
Okay.
P Road.
So did everyone else that goes to this school, I
Literally
think.
everyone
Pretty much,
on
yeah.
Peterson Road. There's so many people.
Yeah,
And,
there's like the only ones that I know for sure that make up like somewhat of a majority would be Peterson Road,
Wicks.
yeah, Wicks,
and
North Otter, and then Fort Langley. There's a couple, and then
Yeah,
after that it's
there's
just like
a few,
random.
A few of us from Fort Langley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's mostly like Peterson Road and Wicks Brown.
And then there's
North
Claire
Otter.
and
I think-
Michael from totally different places.
North Otter is
St.
bigger than
Catharines.
Wicks, I feel like. Wicks Brown is pretty small.
I think it is. I should know. I went there, but I've never seen Wicks Brown, so I don't know.
Yeah, Wicks Brown is very small school.
Mm-hmm.
I used to live on that street.
Yeah. I heard it wasn't a very good school either.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
The sketchy school. It's
The
like the Poppy of elementary schools. Just kidding, we're not that bad.
Okay.
No, I like Poppy, except for the fact that it's in the middle of nowhere and you can't go anywhere
Yeah.
unless you have a car. But whatever.
Or you just sprint really fast.
Yeah, so it's only the grads that go anywhere.
Yeah.
We find out just Like, we went to Tim Hortons one day and we find out that all the grads go to Tim Hortons at lunch.
Everybody goes.
The Langley Christian kids go there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were like talking. Yeah, there was like one kid talking to me. He's just like, where are you guys from? And I'm like, Poppy. And he's like, oh. He's like, did you know that there's like a closer one? Like, and he was talking about the one by the McDonald's where I work, like, you know, on the bypass, like Gloucester.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, no, I don't really think that's closer.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to say that.
Did you know where Poppy is?
Yeah.
Just trying to get the Pop kids out of their Tim
Yeah.
Hortons.
I thought we were going to have to fight. Brawl.
I'm like, I'm either out of the school at lunch, or I'm in the drama room, or I'm in the yearbook room. I'm like I never do anything at lunch. I'm just in class or something.
That's usually what we're like.
Yeah.
Band room.
Yeah.
Same after school. Just like.
Yeah, pretty
off
much.
to the
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that day that we got out, or we got off early at like 12.
Yeah.
I don't remember why that was. It's not important, but like we had pit band, and I think like you guys probably still had to stay too, and like we ended up still having it till 2, so it was like getting off at normal time.
Like, wow, look at the light.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
a
much.
light out.
Hey, look, sun.
The car's always like one of the last in the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, Taylor drives the PT Cruiser, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like always there first thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's her car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda's got the RAV.
Yeah, it's usually like them, and then me. And Ryan Marno, usually.
Yeah.
And Riley. So yeah.
Yeah, Riley's there sometimes.
Before this year's over, I need to go. We'll all park in like Mr. Avlet, Mr. Follett, and Miss Palmer's spots.
Yeah,
Do
definitely.
they park in our parking lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Because
they're
it's
the
closer
first
to the band
3
room.
as soon as you walk in.
Yeah.
That's
It's the Mazda, which is Avlet's. The
We should
Vibe.
just take their 3 spots on the other side then. Except it's closer for me anyways to be in this spot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And because we have band, it's more
It just
practical.
works, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parking disputes at our school.
Yeah. Well, Mr. U's the only one that has the issue.
Good old Mr. Yu.
Parking's a big deal, apparently. It's worth fighting for.
Oh, it is.
Well, I thought Penner in his song, I thought that was a little bit of a dig when he's like, come back and something about parking, we'll be checking your cars or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Yeah.
The amount of people that park in like spots that aren't actual parking spots there's like 4 people that always do it. And it's
Really?
Well, it's like Shannon and Janelle, and then who else is it?
Nicole sometimes parks
Yeah.
in that side thing that's like not a spot.
Nicole Bolton?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does she drive?
It's like a Subaru, I think.
Oh,
it's like
okay.
green and it kind of looks like a Volvo cross country. If you
Oh,
ever saw
okay.
those.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like shorter and long, and I don't know
Yeah.
how to explain it. Yeah, it's her car.
And then there's Claire, who's like, I'm too good to park within my lines.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I watched her park the very first day. I remember that I was like, Claire, you got your N? And she's like, yeah, I just got it. Just got it. It's like, okay.
Did you see that day where she parked over the line? Like she was literally like on an angle like this.
Probably. I do that too, though, so I don't blame her. I'm a bad parker.
You took a picture of it.
I did. It was hilarious. I'll show you after. But
Okay.
it's always fun bugging Claire.
Yeah.
Shout out to Claire Bauer, who was on the show as well.
Episode
She's
10.
a good sport.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What was that? Episode 10? That was Thunderstruck Hollaback Girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was after grad.
Yeah, that was talking about grad
Yeah.
quiz.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good time. Shake It Off was... I feel like Shake It Off is the song of our grad year. Do you not? It
Yeah.
always
Yeah,
gets played at everything.
I think
Yeah,
so.
It's going to be.
It's
It
so
has to
catchy.
be.
So catchy. We need... Shout out to Taylor Swift, you know.
Yeah, shout out to Taylor Swift. We would love to have you on the show.
I'm sure she's listening.
Probably. Who isn't?
Well, if a crazy Taylor Swift fan is, then maybe they can get in contact with
Maybe.
us.
I'm a crazy Taylor Swift fan, so...
I actually like Taylor Swift.
What do you
I
call
honestly
Taylor
do.
Swift fans? Is there a special name for
I
them?
don't know.
Swifties.
Swifties?
I feel like that
There's
is what you
probably
call
a
them.
name,
I think
so.
it is.
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea. I'm not diehard, but I do like Taylor Swift.
Right.
It's my jam.
That's apparent from you always saying, I love that song.
It's true, I do.
And being fully on board for singing that in choir.
Yeah. No, Taylor Swift is great.
Oh, I guess you guys are singing Shake It Off in Fire. I heard about that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't on board, and then we actually tried out a bit of a rhythm that Follett came up with, and I was like, oh yeah, that is kind of cool.
Yeah, we could do that.
Who was it? I think it was Riley and Mitchell that were talking to me about it, and they were like, "Oh my god, I'm not excited at all." Are you kidding me? I would come to choir to do that.
Yeah, no kidding.
You don't want me to come to choir.
Be like a sing-along.
Yeah.
I think the next choir set's actually going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
If we have like a last assembly of the year, you guys got to sing that like a choir, like a last band.
I think that's what our plan is. Isn't it?
Just because everybody.
Well, maybe for
it's a grad
February.
year song.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah,
I'm
for
not
the grad
sure.
year song thing, yeah. There's also.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good idea for the end of the year assembly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. We should do that. We'll talk to Mr. Follett about that.
Yeah. So everybody would sing to it, and it would be fun.
Yeah.
We'll like go dancing, take people from the audience because people love that. Bring them up on stage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they'll play it at prom.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Multiple times.
I'm looking forward to prom. When is prom? It's like June,
June
right?
20th, I believe.
Okay.
Okay, that's a ways away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a while. It's either, I think it's the 20th or the 22nd, one of those 2 days.
Okay. Sweet.
We've got like our own grad girls prom dress page.
Yeah.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Make sure no one
Where'd
buys
you
the
hear
same
about that
dress.
from?
On
Kenzie.
I heard about it on Facebook. Somebody mentioned it on Facebook, and they're like, "Yeah, we should make our own group."
Yeah.
So then it just went off from there.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea though.
Oh, it's good because then you don't get the same dress and everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody hates you, so.
Nobody hates you forever.
No, I hear about all the Facebook stuff through my good buddy Colin here.
Oh yeah, because you're on Facebook.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh. So what should our discussion topic be for this week?
How about favorite Taylor Swift song?
Yeah, I can buy into that, sure.
Let's do it.
That'd be great, yeah.
So let us know what your favorite Taylor Swift song is.
Comment on YouTube or email us.
I don't think I could answer that. There's too many of them.
Yeah, no kidding.
juicypodantics@gmail.com. Like we
Yeah.
say every time.
Yeah. And another tidbit of information, we are taking a week off for
Yeah,
the holidays. Just so you are aware. So
Christmas break.
yeah. So those of you who are watching and are diehard fans, just don't freak out because we took a week off. So just wanted you to know that
We've taken weeks off before, but
yeah,
whatever.
but we never gave you notice. It just kind of happens.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be back beginning of January with some new guests.
Yeah. Should be fun. Yeah, I think we're gonna have 2 guests, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So tune in January.
Start of the month?
Yeah, start of
somewhere around there.
Start of the new year.
Whatever day it comes out.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Alex, for being on the show.
Thanks to
Yeah,
you
it was great
guys.
having you.
Yeah, I had fun. This was a good time.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, no, it really
you're
was great
welcome.
having you. Thank you.
No problem.
Well, as for this week, I'm Colin,
I'm Griffin.
And I'm Alex.
and hope you have a happy holiday.
Merry Christmas.